36 Seconds is a series produced by Black Heart Association based on the fact that every 36 seconds someone dies from heart disease. This series aims to highlight the devastating effects heart disease and stroke have on the Black family. Listen in to these stories of love, loss, and survival.
Me and Mo met in the 10th grade in Wichita Falls, Texas. And we have been more or less inseparable since then. So I don't know how to even put that, but that's what it's been. Since the day we met, we have been just infatuated with each other the entire time. We got married a year after high school. Year after high school we got married. So I graduated in '89, and we got married in 1990. So we met in 1987. It was some trying times early going into, working to be married, because back then marriage wasn't the sacred thing to do. It was kind of shunned upon, people, you finna get married. So I did it, yeah, and I'm happy today, There's another story behind that as well. So, but me and Mo have a great relationship. We're friends when it comes to those pieces of the vow, in sickness and in health. And you don't really recognize that as a young couple, because you're coming off young, you're spry, you're not thinking about no health. But when you endure it, that means everything that we've endured in our relationship. That part right there, and that's now where we at in the relationship. It sticks out more than most of it, and that's almost is on the tablet of my heart. Everything is smooth that day, We wasn't expecting the storm, and I picked up a phone call, and it said, "Rush to the hospital, Mo has just passed out." And I was like, passed out? Wow, what's going on, So right then, I just dropped everything I was doing, didn't even explain to the fellas, I'm gone. Poof. So heart racing, all the vision is going through the mind and thinking of what's going on, what happened, what she'd eat, all that stuff. She was just fine this morning, yada, yada, yada. So the caller did tell me they was going to North Hills Hospital. So I was right here on Meadowbrook, so I just kind of come back up 820. Was kind of, hit the exit. I pulled up at the same time that the ambulance pulled up, bringing Mo out of the ambulance. So I seen her, and I was like, just ran to her, like, hey, what's going on? And she was just kind of out of it. So I was like, well, what's going on? Hey, Mo, what's going on? They were like, get back. They kind of brushed me back, and they took her into the room. So Mo had this nice outfit that she had bought, and it matched. It was like a jean matching outfit. So I was going out of the room, and I hear these guys going, and they're cutting their clothes off. I'm like, so I kind of look back like, wow, there was that outfit, kind of girl thought. So I'm still kind of like, okay, that's Mo, she's gonna be all right. Whatever it is, we're gonna, So I bounce on, and so I'm still kind of antsy. The guy came to me and said they have to resuscitate her heart. So now the thought then went to just her passing out to a whole nother thought. Yeah, she's having heart failure. We're gonna take her into, and all these other. And then it came to a point where they said, you need to go talk to the chaplain. And a couple of her friends had made it from where she had worked at. And they said, you need to go talk to the chaplain. I said, I don't need to talk to the chaplain about nothing. So I go out the door, and I'm looking up to the heavens, and I'm just kind of talking to God, what's going on, and going through the rendition of a man of faith would do it at a point like this. Well, I was asking, wait, what's going on? What are we, more or less asking God, what do we do? And I'm like, wow, just trying to figure it out to a level of, is this the end? All the ways of thoughts that ever hit a mind, because there's a few books I've read that say over 60 thoughts hit the mind. So in tragedy, it's probably 120,000 or more. So as I go through this deal, a couple of her family members get there. They come try to talk to me, and I'm like, go talk to the doctor. I really don't have nothing. What's going on? I really don't know. I'm just going through my rendition because I'm trying to get connected. I feel like I had lost control because I couldn't make it happen or change it with my power like I normally do. Mo don't never really have no issues, because when she do, she said, Rickey, issues gone. So right there, I felt helpless, where I couldn't go in and be like, what you need? You want some this? Solve the problem. So I didn't have that power anymore. So now I try to go back to my faith-based power. That was my next jump. And that's when I was, going outside, and I went outside a couple times. It was like going in, and then a couple times I ran outside because they said the chaplain wanted to see you. And in my mind, when the chaplain comes see you, he's kind of like, in the mindset of a military, he's kind of like the Grand Reaper. I'm coming to tell you the bad news. And that's what I didn't want to. I wasn't who I am today, but I wasn't going to allow him to get my mind set up for something that I know wasn't going to happen in my faith base. So with that being said, I kind of stayed away from him. Stayed away from really everybody, because I thought there was a challenge with me and what God was revealing. And it was something happening. It was something happening that day. I made another time to go outside. And they was trying it. They had got Mo in the room, and they was going through these little tests. I can't name them all, but they said they had to. The doctor Veripan said he cannot do anything else here, but he knows a doctor in Medical City that can get her a shot. He said, but we're done here. So now my challenges and my things that I can do, I'm out of control now. Mentally, my faith has wavered. So now I really want to go challenge God. I want to go challenge God. What's going on? So as I make another deal, I go back outside. My brother-in-law goes with me. And it was a black cloud that was hovering over the hospital. They was trying to get care flight there. And they had it all set up. And this cloud came over the hospital. It was raining on one side. The sun was shining on the other side. And it seemed like it was hailing right in between. So it's like pop, 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 hail. And you see it. And I seen that for myself. And I was like, wow, what is this? So that black cloud, they said, well, we can't care flight her now, because there's a storm that's path is directly from this hospital to that other hospital. And I'm like, whoa, what is this? So in my spiritual, I've been in church long enough to know that there's a battle going on here. And then I really ramped it up when it came into me having to go into my holiest of holy. I wasn't trying to pray with you because I didn't know if you had doubt. But I told God, I said, as we doing this, I said, I'm not going to be trying to lock up with these people because I know these people is just as weak as I am, and I got a little bit. So I didn't do. When they wanted to pray, I said, y'all go ahead and pray. I would let them pray alone, because what I wanted to believe is what me and Mo had, the connection. So the trip they didn't air flight the trip. They had to do ground transportation. So they took all of the stuff out of her room, the ventilator and all the stuff, and they put it on this ambulance. And a little nurse named Ashley, which is the name of our oldest daughter, pumped this thing for 33 miles. It was 33 miles from this hospital to the other one. They made it in under 30 minutes because they was care flight. I mean, because they were skipping the lights. So with that, Mo made it, and it seemed like we get to Medical City, and everything is still, pins and needles. We don't know. We done left this hospital here, saying if we come here, we got a chance. So the whole time I drove over there by myself, I was just questioning God and believing and questioning and believing and questioning and believing, backwards and forth. But when I got there, I was looking for a sign. I was looking for something to God to reveal him to me that it was going to be all right. I was looking for something. Well, what I was looking for was a sign from God to let me know everything was going to be all right, because he had gave me an answer like, this is going to be tough, but you got to be the man that you're supposed to be. You got to be ready for that sickness and health. So that started to rise in my spirit. Mo is still unconscious. Mo is still... So we had kept my girls away for a while, trying to shelter them under the deal, but it came to a point where I had to go communicate it to them. And I didn't cry, because I was going to be solid with them, but I was solid enough to let them know we got a really tough situation going on with Mom. We all need to have the faith that we going to be all right. Everybody went into their own respectable situations. We got a chance to send one of the girls to prom while Mo was still in the hospital. I got all the stuff together. Maybe we should have left this alone. Well, I got everything together for my baby girl for her prom, and we went on, and we did it, and we made a beautiful prom. She made a beautiful prom date. Mo has not, as we got to the hospital, I think I went a little ahead. We got to the hospital, the doctor that they sent us to see was Dr. Rosenthal. And Dr. Varapan said Dr. Rosenthal is the best. He's did this before, he can do it. So when Dr. Rosenthal came in the room, my whole family is there now. Everybody's there, and everybody is probably angry, and all these emotions are high, and my mother is thinking that, just everybody is in a race. So I now got to control the people and try to hear from the doctor. The doctor tells me, when he comes into the room, his appearance, because I'm looking for something. Remember, I'm looking for something. His appearance wasn't what I looked at as a doctor. I'm looking for Lee Majors, you know. I'm looking for somebody. This guy comes in with kind of a hunched shoulder, but I knew then, I said, that's something, because I was looking for something. Well, he came in and he had the calmest voice, and he said, well, I've did this procedure a couple times. I'm gonna go in here and we're gonna do this procedure, and then we're gonna put her on ice for 5 days, and if it all works, we ought to get some action out of it, okay? So he goes down, and we're all in the waiting room waiting for the doctor to do the procedure. And it seemed like it took forever, but it was only like 30 minutes. As you can see the little scar on Mo. They didn't do no triple by. They went right there, did what they did, but they did have to go down through the groin, and Mo has a pretty terrible scar where they suppressed her, had a leg on a deal, and it kind of burnt her calf muscle off. It scar tissued it, you know. And so he came back and he said, well, the procedure went well, and this is kind of he talked. Procedure went well. I can tell you right now, I did make one mistake. The brutal honesty of this guy. I was trying to pick a hole there for her, but it didn't work. But we got it closed back up, and I had to cut another one. You know, that goes through. So now we got Mo. He said she'll be on ice under freezing for the next 5 days. So in actuality, she's just a corpse there. She's just a body, because it unfroze her body. They got a bag of ice that's freezing her, keeping her, while her heart, they had disconnected her heart to let it rest. Phenomenal. The technology of doctors today, to think about it, is phenomenal, and I got a chance to see it firsthand. So I'm still, after this goes, my brother then came in from Houston, kind of dies down, everybody. So we stay at the hospital, my mother-in-law, myself, my daughters. And I still was looking for a sign. So when I went to her room had 333 on the door. They had told us it's going to take 33 minutes. So I believe in these threes because of, you know, the Holy Trinity and all this other stuff. But it was always a significant for me and Mo. We played under these 333s. That was kind of like our code connection, you know. And so I said, oh my goodness, okay, great. So, but I'm still not connecting with any and everybody and saying, let's pray. Because I was looking for that one individual that had no doubt, that I knew he had no doubt, or she had no doubt. Everybody else, I could see it in their eyes were just jumping. And I would walk the hall. Up and down. When people come in, and I know they're looking, and I know I didn't even want to see them, because I know the process of the mind could start the thought. Thought create things. So when I felt that, I would get out. A friend of mine, Leonard Collins, that was a pastor at our church, he would come there. He got off at the post office in Dallas, the main post office, and he would come down to 75 just about every morning. And a couple mornings he just come down, you know, how you doing, brother? I'm doing all right. Everything all right? He never did pray, you know. And then one day he came in, he said, "Say, bro, I want to go pray for your wife today." He said, "But I don't want you to have no doubt. Then I said, wow, that's what I've been looking for, somebody to challenge my faith. Because I knew who I could be in faith. Mo could tell you this, I can believe it and it'll appear. If I tell Mo, hey, this is gonna happen, blue, 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 it'll appear. It'll happen. So Collins came that day and he said, I want to pray for your wife, but I don't want you to have 1 ounce of doubt. And I said, my God, God has showed me this is the guy. This is the guy. To go back to a story, I prayed for his son when he got shot. And his son recovered. And I don't take it for granted that in this time it changed back, that he was interceding with me. So we went down and we prayed for my wife, and there was a nurse in the room. And she said, you want me to leave? And I said, no. I said, no, you can stay. So me and Brother Collins locked hands over my wife, and man, this man, he cracked heaven. He cracked the angels from all over that had been dispatched, that was sitting there waiting and doing their thing anyway. But he had dispatched a healing. So when we left out, this nurse, I could tell that she was kind of like, let me see what's happening here. So we leave out, go back to the room. Mind you, this is like the 3rd day in the college that came up there. So we going out, and I'm just full. I'm full with that. That was it. That was it. We get down there. My faith is strong again, but the phone ring. I'm good. My brother done prayed. I'm good. The phone ring, and now, when the phone ring is for these last few days, they've been for me, or for what's going on in the room. So I go grab the phone. The lady said, somebody need to come back down here now. Her eyes open. And I don't think I hugged the phone, but I just dropped it. And when I went around the corner, her head was laying to the side and her eyes was open. And she was looking at me like, and then her heart deal went, so I was like, do I need to leave out? The lady's like, I don't know. When you guys left, her eyes open. So I went back, and it was like, okay. They called Dr. Rosenthal, and they had her on. Her heart was resting, but she had blood going through her body with this tandem heart that they had put on her. So, boom, this is now like, oh my God, we're coming back, because this is the sign I needed to see. Boom, we got something. Because I knew that she was a fighter. I knew if she could show any signs of light, it was going to be some fight. I learned that there will always be challenges in life that'll come unexpectedly to test you, to see what you're made of. And not to say that challenge made me, but it tested me enough to see what I was really made of. And now I know who I am. I know I'm Monique's husband. If I never did get a chance to tell you, I want to let you know I love you from the depth of my soul.